Okay, good evening, good afternoon, every one of you fellow Ambazonians. It's a wonderful opportunity again to come to you today with a very important message that I know will stir you up towards more dedication for revolution. Thank you for tuning in from Ground Zero through SCBC. And those of you watching by Facebook, SCBC website, Facebook page, YouTube, SCTV, and whatever channel that you are joining in through, thank you so very much. Please, as usual, we expect that as you join, share the link so that once we hit 1,000 people, I will go ahead to do the presentation proper. So please, as you join, within 10 minutes, let's hit 1,000 people. And as you join, do as usual. Share your location. If you are joining from Ground Zero, let me know you are joining from Ground Zero. Share your location. Let me know where you're coming in from. And please do not forget to hit the share button. Let's get the miracle number up in 10 minutes. And please, again, hit the share button. WhatsApp buttons, groups buttons on the Facebook, YouTube, wherever a social media platform exists, hit the share button and let everyone know I am now live. And I'm sorry for coming late. I had been on the road all this while. I just got into my home about 2 hours ago. And thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. So please let the numbers grow. And as the numbers grow, I would like to see who is joining. I see Elma Meyer. She says, or he says, hello. I see Walter Boma, Nambi Nam. I see Lynn Dosky. That's a popular name on this platform. It's a good day, Secretary Chris. Thank you, Lynn. I see Mildred Ndang. Say, Chi, hi. Sir, Secretary Comrade, salute. Oh, no, I'm reading from somebody else. And I also see the only Colonel John Atta, the most outspoken and, how do I put it? The most outspoken critic of La République de Cameroon's agents on this platform and on the social media. That is Colonel John Atta, the only one. I also see Ayisi Jones, Ernest Ali. I see Jude Jr., Cesario, watching from Botswana. Thank you, sir. Ekema Johnson. I thought that was Ekema Patrick. No, that's Ekema Johnson. Thank you for joining in, sir. I see Valentine Tazoche. Please let the numbers grow. Hit the share button as you join, please. We're going to hit 2,000 people, 2,000 viewers, if not more today. So please do your part and I will bring you the message. 2,000 people today. Can we do that? I believe we can. So please hit that share button as you join. We are almost 500 now in 5 minutes, 23 seconds. 501 in 5 minutes, 27 seconds. Please, we have over 500 people watching. If all of you will hit the share button in less than 10 minutes, we would have hit 1,000 viewers. So please do so. I see Don Dinga, Castro, Labisterano. I also see Amin Law. I see Z Zealous. I see Fisher King. I also see James Molo, Mufu Baron. I see Larry Ndansi, Ikome Leonge, Mokom Robert, Lee Nello. I see Kuku Ingwa. And I also see Nambi Nam, say, joining in from Ground Zero in Bamenda. Thank you, sir. I hope you are watching through SCBC. I also see Professor and Prof. Leke join. I don't know which prof is that, but I see Prof. Leke join. I see also AJ Taku say greetings, Secretary Chris. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I see Liz Generous say hello, hello, Gamma McDonough. I also see Veva Valerian. I see Mike Willie Wilsons. I see also Fokum John. We are now a 630. It is slowing down, please. The numbers are slowing down. The speed is slowing down. 630 in 7 minutes. For me, that's slow. So please hit the share button as you join. We are counting on 2,000 or more people today. In less than 10 minutes, let's hit the 1,000 number mark. And I will bring you the broadcast from there while you keep on sharing and others joining. I see James Gui has joined. Ernest Bello said, just started from Germany. Thank you, sir. Miriam Hope, thank you for joining. I also see Onji Chalolin, Clarence Jick, Insala Diodone. I see Vera Afo watching from Ireland. Indem Festus, Imbi Lovetino, Mokom Robert watching from K-Town, Kumba. I also see Mami Blink. Please talk, sir. People are not online. I am talking, and you are online, actually. 700 people now in 8 minutes. Please, let's keep the pace. 1,000 people in 10 minutes. We can do that. We have done so in the past. And I'm counting on at least 2,000 people to watch this broadcast live before it ends. So please keep on hitting that share button onto everyone that you know who is in your group or your social media platform. Let them get it. And I see also Chitu Shine. I see Annie Russia. I see Chebia Lumsi. Say hello, our able secretary. Thank you for the compliments. I see Tabara. Tabara had joined. From says keep up our great secretary. Thank you, ma'am. I see Alenga Lee joining from Bamenda. I see Asom Primus, Ground Zero in Victoria. I also see Vivian Boma. I think I mentioned this name before. There is also Mbiayu Henry. I see TT has joined. I also see Spirit Diamante. Oh, that's a pen name. We have hit a little over 800 people in 9 minutes. So please, we are on pace. Keep on hitting that share button, please. Keep on hitting that share button. I see Vera Affo watching from Ireland. I mentioned that before. I see Indem Festus say greetings, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I see Peter Leonga from Germany. I also see Pius Ayok Agbo watching from Maryland. I also see Tangwe Jude. And there is also James Mulu. Please hit the share button so I can go into this broadcast proper. Now, before we get there, I have a few things, a few remarks, a few announcements to make. Last weekend, I came on air to deliver one of those urgent alert, emergency alert. And the emergency alert was to the effect that the food that La République du Cameroon, the humanitarian food that La République du Cameroon is passing out in Ambazonia is all poison food, poison with meningitis and other deadly viruses. I want to give you a little details here. On June 12th, ever before they announced this humanitarian so-called effort, La République ministers, including Issa Chiroma Atanga Ponji, chiefs from the south and central regions of La République du Cameroon, Ngole Elvis was there, Chief Tabe Tando was there, among others. They had this meeting And they plan in this meeting to poison whatever food items they are delivering in the southern Cameroons. Now, we have warned before that nobody, no matter how desperate you are, unless you want to die, we have warned in the past that nobody in the southern Cameroons should accept any gift, especially food items coming from La République du Cameroon. We warned it, and now we have the evidence that these food items, so-called humanitarian aid, are poison food items. Please do not, again, listen to the sound of my voice. Do not, if you are in the bush, wherever that you may be, do not be desperate to go and take food that has been poisoned. You take any food items from La République du Cameroon, it will poison you and you will die a slow death. So please, I also understand from today, there are stories from today, that what La République du Cameroon is trying to do now is to ferry people from French Cameroon to neighboring towns in the southern region, so that when people see others assembled together and getting food items, they too will rush and join the population to get those food items. Please, if you do, they will give the right food items, the unpoisoned food items, to French Cameroonians. But to you, Ambazonians, they will give the infected food items. You and your children will eat and die. The whole idea behind this poison humanitarian initiative is to slaughter or to kill every young man in Ambazonia, so that by the time that this war is over, if they conquer us, there will be no more young men left to fight for this fight in the future. They are regretting that some of us are alive today after the time of the Indelish, after the time of the Funchas, the Albert Mokons. So they are taking precautionary measures to wipe out the entire youth generation of Ambazonia, so that nobody is left to fight this battle in the future should they win. But thank God, they are not going to win. They will not win. They will win over our dead bodies. But that is not going to happen. So please advise your parents, especially those of you living in the diaspora. You stand the best chance of educating your brothers, your sisters, your parents who live back on ground zero in the northern and southern zone to avoid any food items coming from La République du Cameroon. This is very, very, very important. Now, the second announcement I want to bring to you, which is also intelligence. We have learned very, very reliably that what La République du Cameroon also plans to do, especially in Boya, is to disseminate uniformed officers in civilian attire to infiltrate every local community, every quarter in Boya. They will mix up with the local population, but always dressing and civil, so that they can decipher those amongst you who are fighters and betray you to their masters. And so, if you live in Boya, please keep your eyes open. Know who is your neighbor. Know when they move into your neighborhood. If you suspect anyone you don't know, please call your local self-defense group and they will do justice for that person. Please do so. Again, La République du Cameroon has planned to infiltrate the city of Boya with plainclothes officers so they can betray you if you are an amber fighter. Take note, and let every family in Boya also take note. Now, I also want to mention that because lots of things are happening or have been happening I cannot, I want to come to you every day, every week, every day of this week until Friday, which means I'll be here again tomorrow. I'll be here again on Wednesday. I'll be here on Thursday. I'll be here on Friday. There is so much happening that I cannot cover in one appearance as I normally would do. So please, if you do not see any advertisement, know that tomorrow I will be here, same time, same place. We have 1,200 people right now. I will be starting the presentation any moment from now. But please, before this broadcast is over, I want to see we hit 2,000 viewers, live viewers. I know there are others watching on SCTV and some on YouTube. But on this particular platform, Facebook, SCBC Facebook platform, I want to see 2,000 people. So please, those of you who are joining or who have joined and have not shared, please do so. Do so on WhatsApp. Do so on YouTube. Do so on your Facebook platforms. Let's hit the 2,000 number mark before this broadcast is over. And again, remember, I will be coming back. I will be coming back here tomorrow, same time, same channel, to give you more developments, more education on what is going on in our struggle. Once more, I want to thank all of you, especially those of you on Ground Zero, for joining. Fellow Ambazonians, if anything, events of recent days tell us that our revolution is at a midnight hour. The revolution is at the thick of darkness. The Republic of Cameroon appears to have upped its killing machine by hiring French and Chadian mercenaries. The slaughter of our people and the continuous obliteration of our towns and villages. On our own side, a few misguided of our boys, whose command appear to have lost control, are confronting each other instead of the common enemy, the Republic of Cameroon. At the same time, it is also looking like we have been left to ourselves on our own, with no international support or intervention. Substantially, things look grim and bleak. Even though things may look this way, I come to you today with a different interpretation of the scenario that you see. I come with a different message and a different perception of the situation. The state of the revolution, I mean, it is a message of hope, and it is based on what I know that you do not know. It is a message of hope based on what I see that you do not see. The grim and the bleak, this thickness of darkness that I here refer to, is not the kind that calls for fear. It isn't the kind that calls for cynicism, uncertainty, and perhaps defeat. It is more about the hope that lies just ahead of it. This seemingly bleak picture is a pointer, a sign that we are closer to the last battle. Lest we forget, life experience teaches us that it is at midnight, it is at that thick of the darkness that one begins to hear the sounds of singing birds that announce a new dawn or a new day. They announce a new day. Fellow Ambazonians, we are about to enter a new day and the kingdom of the enemy, just as it didn't allow Israel to lead Egypt into the promised land that quickly, not without a strong show of resistance, French Cameroon isn't about to let us go without a last fight and a last battle that takes us to the mediation table, even when they are clearly now aware that go, we must go. How do I know we are about the last battle? How do I know we are about the last fight? I know it because La République du Cameroon has its last card on the table. They have France out in the field. That tells me they are about to call for a truce. They are about to call for a settlement. Tell me what else they have to offer. After all the French soldiers have returned in their coffins. France is La République du Cameroon's last card. And it isn't a winning last card. Unfortunately for both of them, we haven't really started the war yet. Our boys have only been warming up. The real war is just about to start. When we come out and openly engage French Cameroon and its allies, the French will regret they ever set foot on Ambazonian soil. Fellow Ambazonians, yes, darkness, it seems, may be lingering around, but this isn't time to have sleepless nights, especially over the presence of French troops in our country, Ambazonia. Read your history. The French have never won a war. France is the only superpower that has never ever defeated its enemy, not even at any of its selfish wars in Africa. The French army is only as good as La République du Cameroon army is. France is about to suffer humiliating defeat in Ambazonia, as has historically been its ill fate. The French have been repeatedly defeated by the Germans. The French have been defeated or were defeated in Vietnam, defeated in Algeria, defeated in Haiti, and defeated in Rwanda. A defeat of France in Ambazonia is going to send a signal to Francophone African countries to finally liberate themselves from the shackles of French colonial oppression and subjugation. We are leaving French Cameroon behind. We are leaving them for good. There is nothing, and I mean nothing else, they can do. The marriage was entered into under duress. The marriage was a rape that ended in a pregnancy. And as a boy and girl would do in a pregnancy situation, we decided to stay and nurse the baby together. But our differences have become irreconcilable, and we must go. We must go. I want to thank our God-given warriors on behalf of this interim government, our heroes on ground zero. I mean our tattered but brave but courageous restoration forces who are paving the way for us to go or to leave French Cameroon. You are taking on the combined armies of French Cameroon, Chad, Central African Republic, and France, and you are teaching them lessons in guerrilla warfare. From the landscapes of Bello, Ekona, Bafut, Batibo, Boya, Mamfe, Azi, Moyuka, Imbonge, Iyumujok, Mato, Keke, you have been brave and great. Everywhere your presence is found, the French Cameroon France coalition have become prey in your spoils of war. They are increasingly becoming food for ants and the earth. You have met every Ambazonian at home and in the diaspora, proud of you. We see in all of you a strong and impenetrable Ambazonian army. When we conduct the greatest march past in Boya, on that great celebration day, all of you should rest assured that you shall command the highest veneration, because in this war, some have only put in their money and resources, but you all have put down your lives. The days ahead will be dire, because they head to Armageddon, the final battle. I mean the hurricane. But you don't have to be worried. This interim government is ready. Every material thing that you need to vanquish French Cameroon, you have it. My trip to Boya was meant for an hour like this. All you need to do is to stay focused, be disciplined, refuse to be distracted, refuse to be bought over, refuse to join the other groups that are out to derail the cause. Look out for our populations, protect them and not harass them. Refuse to take up quarrels or arms and fight against your brothers. They are not the enemy. French Cameroon and France are our enemies. They are our cowards. They can't match you in your terrains. Smoke them out like ground beef and wedge them up. We didn't invite them into our territory. They are trespassing, and you have the right to self-defense. Our bravest and courageous soldiers of Ambazonia, listen to me today. Disagreements of recent days must also stop. They must come to a total stop. The IG is aware that among you there are deviant characters, some sponsor to destabilize the great job that you all are doing. Some have also been reported as stealing, harassing, raping, taking advantage of others, taking ransoms. Summarily, they are known to be engaging in activities that are detrimental to our cause. In opportunistic schemes to get rich quick, they are preyed on innocent civilians and the business community, who are also supporters of this struggle and have forcefully taken their life savings. The interim government abhors and condemns such deviant soldiers of our camp. We will not and cannot support such deviant conduct and character. It casts a dark cloud over the entire Amba soldiers, 99.9% of which are very patriotic and just fighting to free their country. While we support the idea that deviant soldiers must be taken away from battle and duly punished for their deviant activities, we do not and will not support soldier killing soldier, no matter what camp they belong to. In every group, there is a chain of command through which deviant soldiers should be reported, and discipline meted on the soldier. Commanders of every group must be seen to be enforcing it, and also ensuring that discipline and a tranquil atmosphere conducive for operations prevails in every camp or group. And what if the commanders themselves become the problem? You may ask. Then the leaders of those groups to whom the commander pay allegiance to must be disarmed. He must be disarmed, and he must be gotten out immediately. No group should want to nurture commanders that behave like warlords. And this brings me to the question of collaboration. What is going on is happening as a result of lack of collaboration on ground zero. Lack of participation from an all-inclusive platform that we have preached. A common platform in which the leaders of all the groups come to table as equals. They are not dictated to. They dictate the direction of their affairs. They are not asked to surrender their men. They are merely made to reveal to their peers in the communities they cover. This way, their soldiers are then prevented from crisscrossing from group to group, preventing a situation where stealing of sheep is hindered. A collaborative platform doesn't leave any one person too powerful as to constitute a threat to the entire struggle or community, because decision-making is collective. A collaborative platform decides on the targets and decides who and when the target is taken out. A collaborative platform makes the soldiers see themselves as brothers and sisters fighting only one enemy. They don't see themselves as opponents. If all the different leaders of self-defense, no matter what a group is called, and no matter to whom it belongs, do not see this vision, but only think that only some conference will bring collaboration, then they are mistaken. Ambazonians, it is high time that all of us who love this struggle stand up like one man and say to all the diaspora leaders sponsoring groups on ground zero that they must agree now to sit down together with the ASC, this single platform, to discuss collaboration and strategy and action. I will say it again, loud and clear, that Ambazonians, you and only you have the power to stop this mess by doing two things. Number one, stop funding or donating to wannabe warlords who just want to do their own thing. Number two, follow the revolution. Stop following individuals. When you become emotionally attached to this or that leader, you lost the ability to rightly judge what they are doing wrong, which is wrong, or to the detriment of the revolution. We are partly responsible for the mess that took place recently. Some of us are sponsoring people when they should be sponsoring projects. Please, the biggest project here is this revolution. Let's fund the revolution and not individuals who cannot even tell us. They cannot say how and where they use their funds. On my trip to Boya Funds, fellow Ambazonians, we have heard of calls after the fundraiser ended for the interim government to release records of how much came in or was raised, what has been spent, and where it is being spent. Some people in groups have as much as suggested that part of those funds be given out to different groups. Let me remind all of us that we are still in a revolution. Not everyone out there shouting to hell with La République du Cameroon is for this struggle. There are many people within us make videos and audios and they curse the République du Cameroon, that I must assure you that they are not all for this revolution, especially if progress made isn't identifiable to them or their groups. Let us be wise. Beware of the wolves carrying the same amber flag and singing the same amber anthem with us. How would you feel if tomorrow Dr. Sarko comes out and say over SCBC that, oh, you know, my trip to Boya raised so much amount of money. Would any of you really take him or take this interim government seriously? Can you imagine the ammunition that would have been put into the hands of La République du Cameroon if we came out here and said, oh, you know, my trip to Boya raised only $50,000, or maybe say it raised $2 million. Also, does anyone in his or her right judgment really expect that the interim government would come and sit here and begin to break down what the money is being used for? Please, please, do not expect that. The day we do that, we are no longer qualified to be a government. For no government goes on social media to betray itself, as some people want us to do. But I want to say this to you. You are dealing with men and women of integrity in this interim government. You are dealing with God-fearing leaders. And trust that my trip to Boya funds are being employed only for the purpose they have been collected for. Dr. Sako hasn't bought a new house yet, as you will hear the house out there. And yours truly hasn't bought any new suit yet. Neither of us earn even a stipend, rendering this sacrifice for Ambazonia. Dr. Sako had said, give me $2 million and I will take you to Boya. That is exactly the agenda those funds are now executing. In a little while, in a very little while, you will have cause to believe what I'm telling you here today. And let me also add the reason why no group should expect a share of my trip to Boya funds. You will agree with me today, $2 million alone isn't quite enough to take us to Boya. But it is good enough to take us to the point where Boya isn't anymore a dream, but a reality. As the fight goes on, you can trust that we will need more funds. And as such, continue to raise more funds. And I'm convinced that many of you will continue to support, most especially when you finally begin to see yourself what my trip to Boya funds are accomplishing towards the restoration of our country. To ground zero, on behalf of the interim government, I thank you for your resilience and your courage. Difficult days lie just ahead. Please, wherever you live, even in La République du Cameroon, if you feel you are not safe, leave very, very soon. Those living in the city and urban areas, please, no security is guaranteed for anyone now. Yesterday, this struggle was a crisis. We left from calling it a crisis to a conflict. Let me tell you, this is no longer a conflict, it is war. This interim government has been very patient, dealing with the excesses of La République du Cameroon throughout the course of this conflict, in the hope that they did release our leaders and all the other detainees they have in solitary confinement and invite us to a dialogue table. But no, they have not. In that expectation, we have resolved that our boys must stay on the defensive. They did their best, but La République du Cameroon failed to understand. Now it is time for a full offensive. It is Operation Take Back Everything that belongs to the Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia. We are taking back our territories, county by county, and zone after zone. Things will never be the same again. If you have any reason to remain locked down in your house, please make sure you have made provision enough food and enough water. Not illegitimate boys who are fighting for our freedom in your community, and cooperate with them when necessary. We trust that they too will be able to come to your help when the need comes. Have their phone numbers. Ask for it. They are all from around you. Look out for one another. The Republic of Cameroon has plans to infiltrate our communities, our neighborhoods, especially in Boya. They will infiltrate with police, gendarmes, and soldiers in plain clothes and report any suspect to the colonial terrorists. Also remember that not everybody in civilian attire is a civilian. This means that you have to start paying a little more attention to the people you hold conversations with. Pray in your churches. Pray in your homes. Pray especially for these young heroes of ours, men and women, who have put their lives on the line to save Ambazonia. Pray that the Lord will guide them, that the Lord will protect them, that the Lord will deliver them. Pray that no weapon of the enemy directed against them will hurt them or prosper. Pray that their bullets shall go in one direction, but split into multiple directions at the directions of the hidden enemies. Pray that they love one another, that they will see themselves as brothers and as sisters, not as enemies. And above all, pray that God gives them and their leaders wisdom. We must live free or fight till victory shows up in the horizons. Thanks for listening today. Thanks for listening today. I hope you got the message. Please take this message into every home on Ground Zero. I am Chris Anno. Good night.